explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guest is Dr. Kiya Immergluck.
Hi, Jay.
Dr. Immergluck, is it okay if I call you Kiya?
Absolutely.
And you had an interesting, you said it, your name is like Kiya, but it's?
My name is Kiya, like the car, only I run better.
I love that. Kiya is a psychotherapist and an energy coach in private practice in the greater Chicago area for over 25 years. Kiya has facilitated workshops and retreats throughout the United States and is part of Infinity Foundation's adjunct faculty. Kiya has written several books to help preschool children learn tapping techniques, and one of these books is called Edie the Flying Tapper.
Or EFT.
EFT?
EFT is one of the tapping techniques that I use. It stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, but I created a character, that puppet, so that it had the same initials.
Okay. I see. Edie the Flying Trapper.
A tapper.
Yeah, tapper, so EFT.
EFT.
Okay, got
Yes.
it. You also have a very interesting name. You want to tell our audience the root of your name?
Yes. Kiya means because of God in Hebrew, and Immergluck means always lucky in German. So I'm a wonderful sentence. Because of God, I'm always lucky.
Well, I think your smile says it all. You call yourself an energy coach, among other things. Mm-hmm. What does an energy coach do or mean?
Well, as an energy coach, what I do is I teach people how to basically help themselves by tapping on their own acupressure points to calm down and help them with all kinds of emotional and physical problems.
Can you give an example for our audience?
An example of the technique?
Technique. Let's say somebody experienced stress while driving. Is there, someone that might be prone to road rage or overreact? Is there something somebody can do while driving?
And just as an aside, there's a wonderful film called Try It on Everything. And that really says it all, because we can use tapping techniques for virtually any problem that you might have, physical or emotional. So what you do is you talk about what the problem is, and then you tap on various acupressure points. Mm-hmm. And I'll just show you some. This is one of them. They're actually acupuncture points, mm-hmm. and acupuncture, of course, is thousands of years old, and within the last 40 or 50 years, it was discovered that you don't have to use needles. You can simply stimulate various acupuncture points or acupressure points, and what was discovered is that you can then calm down completely.
Well, I would assume it would change the nervous system from
does.
Sympathetic to fight or flight nervous system.
It shifts the energy, and that is one of the many profound differences between traditional psychotherapy and energy work. And that's why I very particularly call myself an energy coach, because what I'm doing is I'm guiding a person in the work of helping themselves.
Well, it's interesting because you call yourself an energy coach, but if you look at the word emotion, it comes from energy and motion, emotion. And so you're describing the motion. When we're angry, our motion or emotion is characterizing the body one way. When we transform that to calmness and peace, maybe through tapping, you're changing the energy or motion of the body.
Yes, that's a very, very good description of it. One of the things that I just read recently is it's really a way of transitioning between traditional psychotherapy and body work and kind of combining the two. in a very, very different way.
Now, are you aware of any medical research that shows the value, the benefits, of your techniques, the tapping techniques?
There is a lot of research that's going on right now. I'm not aware of anything that's been published so far. I'm sure there has been. Most of us just notice that it works, and we don't put too much energy into trying to figure out why.
Yeah, well, and I also know that there's a lot of practitioners that are very effective that are just, they're ahead of the curve. By the time something's researched, it's already, been in practice for quite some time. I'd call it like market-driven, like diets. People were changing their diets, and all of a sudden, you say, "Oh, now medicine steps in and does all these research and goes, oh, well, eat this way." All right. So you were describing the difference between the traditional psychotherapy and an energy coach. Is there any other distinctions you'd like to make?
Many. In fact, I've done extensive training in these energy techniques, and one of my teachers tends to make fun of all of us psychotherapists. He says, "Oh my God, you have so much to unlearn." And it's very, very true, because this is not based on regular psychology techniques at all. In fact, what I particularly like about it for my own work is that it bypasses the intellect, because as an intelligent person, I can talk myself in and out of anything. And this way, I am working strictly with the energy. And because of that, it's very quick, it's very effective, and a person doesn't have to even tell me what it is they're working on.
Yeah, well, I would say, I like what it said, it bypassed the intellect, which also means that you're bypassing the psychological defenses that people habitually use unconsciously.
Exactly. And, the simple explanation is that all emotional problems have at their root a disruption in the energy system. You even out that energy system through tapping, and the emotional baggage falls away.
Well, and besides changing the nervous system, I'm sure you're changing the brain, because if doctors would use like a brain spect to examine the brain, you could see anxiety, you can see obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, ADD, etc. And I've seen before and after brain scans, where anxiety is gone after treatment, and it literally looks like a different brain. I'm sure that the same could be done with your tapping techniques.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a woman who, I don't know how she did it with some sort of a special microscope, actually showed movies of the blood cells, and how they look before a person did tapping and after. And before, the blood cells were kind of clumped together and almost like they were stuck. And then right after a tapping session, the blood cells were separate and beautiful and totally doing what they're supposed to be doing. So
that's wonderful that you can literally see before and after. Let's say a parent, whose child is angry and upset and uncooperative, literally, can see the change in behavior.
Yes.
Well, and since we're going to focus on children today, what are some of the changes that you see in children before and after learning the tapping techniques?
It's absolutely incredible. It's been so much fun for me, because I do a lot of house calls when I work with children, and the truth is that really I'm often training the parents.
And is there a particular reason why you do house calls?
Because it really helps to see the child in their true home setting. Another example of why I did a house call was I got an emergency call once a couple of years ago where a woman said, "My little boy will not go to school tomorrow, and he's 5 years old, and it's Sunday, and I know you don't usually work on Sunday, but please come to my house." I came, and she said, "He's terrified." And I went to the house with my bear, if you want to show my teddy bear.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,